block content. What's happening, my block buddies? Welcome to a brand new episode of Blocked Content. My name is Kellum. I'm actually joined by a very special guest. This is going to be your content for today. So Smash Bros. Ultimate has a Smash Bros. Direct that is 40 minutes long. It's coming up, and I'm super excited about this, so I had to bring in my all-time bestie. This is Ryan. What's up, man?
Yo, what's going on, fellas? And Callum. Looking so handsome.
Fellas and Callum.
And like the
that.
three ladies of the internet that look at gaming stuff.
Right. All of you. Hey,
all of you.
What's up?
You matter.
You matter. So we're here. We're going to talk about this Smash-themed Direct. It's going to be 40 minutes long. Sakurai himself is going to host it. And he actually said that it's going to be the final Nintendo Direct for this game. It's exciting to me, but it's also a little bit scary because are we going to know everything after this thing?
I don't know about everything. You know, you would think that he'd probably still keep a couple of things for the gamer to discover about the game itself. But I do think, like, if we were to gauge it on percentage-wise, he's going to give us 98% of the game.
98%. So we're going to see a lot of game modes then, I guess.
I would think a little bit of game modes. I'm thinking more just based on the recent leak that happened, that I think it's going to be more based on characters, right? We're going to see all the remaining characters that have yet to be revealed, a couple of which I think are going to be Echo characters. I think that's to be expected. And I think that majority of the direct presentation is going to be spent on these character reveals with their individual trailers, move sets, and then examples of them in the game.
Interesting. So you think that the entire running time of this Direct is going to be, like, we are going to get some game mode stuff, but you think that we might get like 5+ characters or maybe a little
I would
bit
not
more
be
or less?
surprised. Yeah. And I think we're going to get into who we want to see, aren't we?
I think so, because let's just start with me.
Yeah.
I am very excited about, because we all know about the leaks, but I kind of want to forget about the leaks for just a hot second.
Hot second.
I think it's very, just a hot second. A hot second. I think it's very interesting to just keep your mind open for other stuff. And you and I are big fans of Goku for Smash Brothers,
Oh,
right?
yes.
So that's one character that I've wanted like since Melee days. But I think also, not thinking about the league, I would love a retro character in terms of either Balloon Fighter. I would love Excite Bike. I've seen a couple of people campaigning for some older Nintendo Power themed characters as well. But just generally, I think that if they do character reveals like they have done, like for this game, the Ridley one was incredible. I thought the K. Rool one was the best cinematic that I've seen in years. And I even think that Simon trailer with Luigi's Mansion inspired stuff in it was like weirdly fitting, and it was scary, but it was still Nintendo enough. I think that if we are going to see a character like, say, Shadow or something, and he is an Echo fighter, I really want to still see a trailer, like a CG trailer about Shadow, because there's so much they can do. I mean, he rides a motorcycle. Wario rides a motorcycle, so maybe they can like race each other.
They ride in
something.
together. They're part of their own biker gang. Oh.
That would be awesome.
So I would rather ignore the motorcycle thing, because let's just ignore the Shadow the Hedgehog game altogether.
Sure.
Let's bring it back to Sonic Adventure
guns.
2 when he was actually relevant. Sorry, haters.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we know that he's going to be an Echo character. I would definitely think the reveal trailer can be reminiscent of how that intro to Sonic Adventure 2 would be, because, you know, Sonic's already a part of the game. That's tugging at my heartstrings and my love for Sonic the Hedgehog, but, you know, we already know that Knuckles...
Radical Highway.
Yeah, we already know that Knuckles is going to be an assist trophy. So that inclusion is kind of cool, and I think we also lightly, you know, off this talked a little bit about how maybe Dr. Robotnik or Eggman could be included as part of the stages and like interacting and wrecking it and interacting or messing up the different players.
That'd be really cool. Yeah, I think if we're talking game modes, I could see like a spirits mode have some sort of boss rush or something. And one of the bosses, like we've already seen Rathalos from Monster Hunter, we've seen Dracula from the Castlevania games. If I'm thinking about any other big boss, it has to be like Dr. Wily from Mega Man. It has to be Dr. Eggman.
Totally.
What other doctors do we have?
Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah. Dr. Frankenstein, I think the Frankenstein monster is in. We know that. But the Dr. Frankenstein is like the guy, right? That makes, or whatever. I don't know. But I think that it's interesting to think about these boss characters because everyone's talking about like character reveals. I just want more boss reveals. I want to know which like big bosses I'm going to fight in potentially a story mode. So are you a big fan of like a Subspace Emissary like story mode, or are you more of a fan of the like standard adventure from Melee?
Yeah, you mean like in part of like the one-player modes? I remember in Brawl where like you would fight, what was, I'm going to mispronounce the name of the new gen Pokemon. It's a legendary one. It's a long green dragon that starts with an R, like Rayquaza or something like that.
Yeah, it was Rayquaza, I think.
Yes. Like I said, I'm going to butcher the name, but that was like one of the sub-bosses. I do think that that was like an interesting addition to like the game. And yeah, you were just talking about boss modes that way. I would definitely like more expansion on that. But in terms of game modes and stuff like that, I've been the type of person who like knows what type of game mode for the game works for me. And that's just like having people in the same room playing like 4-player Smash. Now, in terms of that kind of stuff, I love that you can play 2-player online, but I'd love to see 8-player online. I mean, they do 12-player Mario Kart, so why not Smash, right?
8-player online Smash Brothers, that would potentially be a game changer.
It'd be super awesome.
It'd be like Smash Royale or something.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. So in a way, I think that in terms of game modes, I think a lot has to happen. I think we need Board the Platforms back. I think we need the old school Target Smash back.
That's a good one.
It's been a long time
since we've Board That's only from the original, correct?
It's from, Smash Brothers 64, and every single character got their own little stage. And back then, it was like 8 or 12 characters.
Yeah, now we got 60 plus.
Yeah. I think we might run at 80. Maybe we'll like peak at 80 for this game, which, if you think about it, is completely insane with the amount of detail every character has in this game, right? It's just insane. I think that in terms of game modes, I love this new squad strike mode that they have. So it's basically like a 3 versus 3, and if a character like KOs, you respawn as a different character. So that's one that I've wanted in for like years and years. So that's very exciting to me. But I would like some game modes that, like you said, are more like focused on couch multiplayer, or maybe single player modes that incorporate bits and pieces of like a bigger story mode that you could have like tiny mini games that you can earn trophies on. Like that's the kind of stuff that we know nothing about. We only know characters, we know every stage so far, but we don't really know those tiny bits and pieces that link everything together. Like, how do you unlock a character?
Oh, that's true. They did say that was going to be different with this game, and with so many different characters to unlock, I bet they had to get really creative with that. So I think what they might incorporate is, you're going to unlock some characters just by smashing, quote unquote, but playing through all the other modes and achieving things, I think also gives, with the amount of unlockables, a lot more diverse ways to explore how the player can unlock things. Make it more rewarding that way.
That'd be really cool. I think that preferably I wouldn't get all the characters in one day. Like, I'd want to have the game.
Oh, definitely not.
We had Mewtwo in Melee, and it took me like months to figure out how to get him. And I know there's the internet, but make it a little bit hard to like unlock characters. That way it feels more earned, like you just said. Yeah. And to me, it's this thing where I believe that the longevity of this game will not come out of customization. I think that was the previous game's like thing. I think the longevity of this Smash is going to be how robust it is, and just how good the mechanics work, and that people just love playing this game. Like almost like a Melee renaissance, right? Because that game is still being played today. And I have a big hope that this game's thing isn't a big story mode, and it's not big customization. It's just, it works. It has like tons of characters, but most of all, it works. I've played a little bit of this Smash, and it's faster. It's better in
They did pick up the pace
like,
a little bit then, huh?
Exactly. Yeah, it's slightly.
And they slowed it way back down with Brawl from Melee.
Very sluggish, yeah. Most of all, I think my number one prediction, and I want to hear your number one prediction, but my number one prediction is that above all else, I think we are going to get to know what that spirits mode is. They've like kind of pixelated it out, and they didn't really want to talk about it up until that point. But I do think that they have to like discuss it now. It's been too long. We don't know anything about single player stuff, so give us that spirits mode. Is it something that includes like cutscenes? I want to know, because I'm getting crazy over here. I just want to know what that secret game mode is. What's your number one prediction?
I think it's going to be a ton of character reveals. More specifically, we're going to see a fan favorite from the 64 days. I think it's going to be Banjo-Kazooie.
No way. You do think it's going to happen? Like, there have been leaks and stuff like that.
I do think so. I think that's a character that has a lot of opportunity for some really unique character moves that are specific to just that character's game, the environment. I think that it has such an iconic soundtrack that addition to the Smash Brothers soundtrack, because and maybe possibly a stage as well, really does add a different dimension that's not really like any other game that's included. Banjo-Kazooie is kind of out there, and one of the things that I think you and I primarily think of when you think that game is the sound effects and the wonky music. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all of those things. The characters were nothing about the original game took itself seriously, and then combine that with kind of a slapsticky Smash style. I think it's like more of an entertaining, brawler.
Yeah, it'd be like that. Like when I saw Banjo in the leak, that almost felt surreal to me. And if they are doing Banjo and Kazooie, they've just like I will forgive Microsoft for like mishandling the IP.
It's weird though, because it's like you would only think of Banjo-Kazooie with Nintendo because that's the only platform it ever appeared on.
No, well, they had a game called Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, and it was on the Xbox 360, I think.
Nah, we all ignored that.
What are we talking about again? They never had a game on these 360?
I'm quietly omitting that. I'm
blanking. I don't know.
No, I did not even know that was a game, to be completely honest. I'm just talking about Banjo-Kazooie and the much hyped but ultimately let down of Banjo-Tooie.
And what about Banjo Pilots for the Game Boy Advance?
Yeah.
So that's what I think is really interesting. If you think about where Banjo actually debuted from, it was Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah.
And Diddy Kong Racing, we already have Diddy Kong in the game. So if there was like an announcement trailer for Banjo that had like a cinematic, I would so love to have Diddy Kong in there and just him hugging it out and just crying.
Nostalgic for sure. I think they're really just doing anything that they can to tug at the heartstrings of nostalgia, because it's like Smash 4, 5, how many people grew up with this game. I started with Genesis, but not shortly after that, the 64 come along, and I don't know about you, but I was definitely a 64 kid. So GoldenEye, Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, Jet Force Gemini, Mystical Ninja. There's another one. So I don't think that this is going to happen, but I think it's interesting. If I were to talk about characters that not a lot of people talk about, it would be the Mystical Ninja, starring Goemon or Geomon, depending on how you pronounce it, whether you're from the Americas or overseas or from Japan.
All right. Yeah, that's the blue-haired little guy, right?
Yes. I don't know if you've ever played that, but absolutely one of my all-time favorite games for Nintendo 64. Plays a lot like Mario 64 and Zelda. So if you think like Ocarina of Time movement, but Mario 64 type environments, that's what you're going to get with this game.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's kind of like that was the renaissance of like the 3D platformers, right? We had so many cool things. Banjo-Kazooie sprouted from that. So I wouldn't see it as such a weird possibility. But to me, like my number one character, like the one that I want in, people really hate me on the channel for saying it, but but I really want Goku. I really want Goku from Dragon Ball.
Oh no, I'm right there with you, man. Remember, we talked about, even before recording this as well, we were talking about how his name was listed as a voice credit on Wikipedia, and I got so excited. And then you're like, no, he actually does the voice for Lucario as well, and I was like, no.
Yeah, it's weird because Sean Schemmel does the voice of Goku, but he also does the voice of Lucario. But some guy on IMDb actually put his credit for Smash Bros. Ultimate also as Son Goku. So someone was messing with it a little bit. Like, there's one thing in the entire world, like this leak that happened had so many great characters in it. Mach Rider, Ken, it had Shadow, Geno, it had, you know, Pie in the Sky, Dream Come True, Banjo-Kazooie. But if there's one thing that's going to happen, that's, you know, if I can't have all those, but I can have Goku, then I would do it.
I would do it too.
It's so weird. I think people are going to hate us for saying that.
I'm sorry, I didn't grow up in the early 2000s where Toonami was life, bruh.
Right, Toonami blog. And I think that if we're talking Dragon Ball Super, his final smash has to be Ultra Instinct.
Yeah, for sure. And it's, you know, playing on the height of the popularity right now. So, and that's a very real thing right now.
And I think just, you know, closing this off, to me, the most important thing about this is that I do want to have some surprises for the game left, but I definitely do want to know what's included in them.
Like I said, 98%, bruh. 98%.
98%? You think so? Yeah?
You ain't going to get that 2%. You're going to have something.
Something. I hope so. I hope to keep some secrets. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys down in the comments think of this. It's been a great time chatting with you, Ryan. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me, dude. Always a pleasure.
Anytime. So just comment down below what you guys think of this. If you comment down below, you could actually be featured in our next video. So you could actually be on blocked content like Ryan is right now.
Oh, man.
Does it feel good?
Feels great. Feels good.
Feel good. Do. Oh, we're going to get copyright striked, I guess. Because I sing it so well. So today's comment question is, what are your final predictions for the Direct? So let me know down in the comments. And of course, there's a giveaway. You guys can win this Smash Brothers Ultimate pin. And it looks beautiful. You can win it.
It's so beautiful.
It's a beautiful pin. Oh, wait, I'll be Luigi. It's beautiful. Oh, yeah. Woohoo! So comment down below why you think you deserve that pin, and well, maybe you can win it and pin it on when you play Smash Bros. Ultimate. And the comment question of our previous video comes by way of Jake, the Yu-Gi-Oh fan, and he's saying, Eggman and Waluigi team up and create the Death Devil, one-sided piloted by Eggman and one by Waluigi. So that's pretty close to our prediction, right? Eggman being a boss character. I like that.
That's relevant.
So
it's relevant.
I do think it's relevant. Thank you so much for commenting. So, of course, guys, if you want to support us on Patreon, you can. For everyone who's already donating, you guys are super amazing, and you keep us be able to actually do this thing. So, thank you so much for being a part of the channel. If you're not yet a member of Block Content, don't worry. Hit that subscribe button. All your dreams will come true. So,
smash
thank you guys so much
subscribe.
For watching. Smash it, right?
Smash it.
Put the ultimate smash on the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Right? Well, Ryan, I'll see you around the corner where there's always more blocked content.
Take care.
See ya.